All right, welcome back to the deep dive. You know how this works, right? We take something you're super into, and, well, we kind of pull out the absolute must-know stuff, make it all nice and neat just for you. Today, we're tackling this classic, 1984 by George Orwell, and yeah, let me tell you, it still packs a punch.
It really does. It's one of those books that just stays with you.
Totally. So for this deep dive, we're going straight to Airstrip 1. Yeah, that used to be London back in 1984, of course. And get this. Big Brother's watching everything, his face plastered everywhere, those eyes that just seem to follow you. And those telescreens, man, they never shut up. I know you're all about getting the good stuff fast, so we're going to cut through all the heavy stuff and get right to the heart of this, well, kind of messed up world.
It's a dystopia, really, but so brilliantly imagined that it feels almost too real at times.
Exactly. And what hits you first is just how controlling everything is. Orwell nails that right from the start. You're not just reading about it, you're feeling it, like with Winston and how he's living.
That's right, that oppressive atmosphere, it's everywhere. Even those little everyday things, they all tell you about the party's power.
For real. Like that smell, boiled cabbage always hanging in the air, the hallways all dingy and run down. Deprivation, that's the vibe. And then there's Big Brother's face. Huge on all the posters, those eyes just watching you wherever you go. You feel totally watched all the time. No wonder Winston walks up 7 flights of stairs instead of taking that rickety old lift.
Yeah, and he's kind of frail, Winston, which is even more obvious because he's wearing those blue overalls, what all party members gotta wear.
Makes him stand out even more.
Yeah.
And it's not just what you see, it's what you hear, too. Non-stop party propaganda, no escaping it. Even in Winston's apartment, that telescreen's always going, spouting off numbers about pig iron production.
It's their version of reality, totally made up. And the crazy thing is, you can turn the telescreen down, but you can never switch it off completely. It's always there, in the background, like a constant reminder.
Talk about wearing you down. No peace, even at home. And it's not like those little comforts they offer actually help. That Victory Gin, it's awful. Smells bad, tastes worse. Winston drinks it, though, trying to block it all out, the stress, the fear, everything. Kind of sad, really.
It is. It shows how this environment, this constant pressure just crushes the human spirit. There's no real pleasure, no real escape.
And all of this, the surveillance, the fake reality, it leads to something truly chilling. Thought crime. It's not just doing something illegal, it's thinking something the party doesn't like. Any thought, even the tiniest one.
Exactly. And what makes it terrifying is you can't hide it forever. You can act like you agree, but the party believes they'll always find out what you're really thinking.
So creepy. It's
Yeah.
like they think they can read your mind. And they probably can. You see this in Winston's diary, the entry from April 4th, 1984. He's watching this graphic war film, and the party members are laughing at all the violence. But there's this parole woman. She's horrified, especially because kids are watching.
And the party just dismisses her, calls it a typical prole reaction. It's dehumanizing. They don't even consider her feelings valid.
Right. It's like they see anyone who's not part of the party as less than human. And then there's that moment when Winston's writing "down with Big Brother" over and over in his diary. He suddenly realizes it's no riskier than just having the diary in the first place.
It's a chilling realization. The thought police, they're always watching, always listening. You can't escape them no matter what you do or even think. Freedom is gone completely. Even your mind isn't safe.
It's like living in a nightmare. And this fear, this control, it even seeps into the most ordinary parts of life. Take the 2 minutes hate at the records department.
Yeah.
It's this daily thing where everyone has to focus their rage on Goldstein, this supposed enemy of the party.
It's a brilliant example of how the party manipulates people. The 2 minutes hate isn't spontaneous, it's carefully planned, with specific newspeak terms, distorted images of Goldstein on the telescreen. Even the way he sounds is all designed to trigger hatred and fear.
And it works.
Yeah.
People get caught up in it, all riled up against this enemy. It's so effective because it unites them through this shared hatred, and it also distracts them from the real problems.
Exactly. And those party slogans they flash on the screen during the hate war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. They're not just empty words, they represent the party's twisted logic, the complete opposite of reality.
It's mind-bending, right? They want people to accept contradictions without question. It makes you wonder if there's any hope for resistance, like with the rumors about the Brotherhood. Can anything like that even exist in this kind of world?
It's a valid question. The constant arrests, the forced confessions, the public executions, it creates this atmosphere of paranoia and uncertainty. It makes you doubt everything, including the possibility of a real resistance movement.
So even the idea of rebellion is used to control people, right? It's like they want you to believe that even if you try to fight back, you'll lose. And then you've got those Parsons kids. Talk about unsettling. They're so devoted to the party, playing with toy weapons, calling Winston a traitor and a thought criminal.
It's horrifying, but also incredibly effective propaganda. The party's turning children into weapons, essentially, by manipulating their innocence and enthusiasm. And what's even more disturbing is that they direct this aggression outwards towards anyone who seems to disagree with the party.
Yeah, and it's working. Even adults are afraid of their own kids because they've been so indoctrinated. It's like the party's trying to break down families, make everyone suspicious of each other.
They're eliminating any potential threat to their power. Even within the family unit, it's a truly totalitarian approach.
And it's not just about mind control. They're manipulating reality itself, especially through information and history. Like that announcement about winning in South India, then bam, they're reducing the chocolate ration. It's almost comical how obvious it is.
Right. And Winston's reaction, expecting bad news, shows how the party's words mean nothing. They're just propaganda, completely disconnected from people's actual lives.
It's like they think if they say it enough times, it'll become true. And that's where Winston's job comes in. He works in the records department, and he's basically rewriting history. He corrects old articles from the Times, making sure everything aligns with the party's current version of the truth.
And it's not just about changing a few words. It's about erasing entire events, people, ideas. Anything that contradicts the party's narrative is simply deleted, thrown into the memory hole, as they call it.
Gone forever. It's like they're trying to control the past. And by controlling the past, they control the present and the future.
Exactly. And this control extends to language itself. They've created Newspeak, this simplified language designed to limit what people can think and say.
Like with the word free. In Newspeak, it only means free from something, like free from lice or free from weeds. There's no concept of political or intellectual freedom.
It's brilliant in a twisted way. By controlling language, they control thought. If you can't express an idea, can you even have that idea?
It's scary stuff. And then they take it even further with doublethink. This is where you believe two opposite things at the same time.
It's a mental trick, a way to avoid cognitive dissonance. You basically train your mind to accept contradictions without questioning them. Even understanding the word doublethink requires using doublethink.
It's like they're breaking people's minds, making them accept whatever the party tells them, no matter how illogical it is. And this constant manipulation of information, this doublethink, it leads to a complete distrust of memory. Winston can't even remember basic things, like when he first heard of Big Brother.
Because the party's constantly rewriting the past, making Big Brother seem like he's always been in charge, their hero since the very beginning. They keep pushing his supposed achievements further and further back in time, blurring the lines between reality and fiction.
It's like they're creating a myth, a legend. And they start young, too. Remember that excerpt from the children's history textbook that Winston copies into his diary? It's a complete fabrication, painting the old days as this horrible time, making the party seem like the saviors.
They're brainwashing children, teaching them to hate everything the party hates, to love Big Brother without question. It's a horrifyingly effective way to ensure their power continues into the next generation.
But even with all this control, Winston has this glimmer of hope. He writes in his diary, "If there is hope, it lies in the proles." He sees them, these everyday people, as the only ones who haven't been completely brainwashed.
And he observes them closely, their lives in those rundown prole districts. They're focused on basic survival, work, family, little arguments, cheap entertainment. The party sees them as simple, easily controlled. They think a few thought police agents spreading rumors is enough to keep them in line.
But Winston sees something else, something more. He watches a prole woman singing, and he's struck by her genuine joy, her spirit. He sees in her a kind of human resilience that the party hasn't crushed.
It's a beautiful and heartbreaking moment. He's clinging to this hope, this belief that maybe, just maybe, there's still some human spark left that the party can't extinguish.
Then comes Julia, and their affair starts. It's dangerous, of course, everything is, but it's also a form of rebellion against the party's control over personal relationships.
Because the party sees sex as a threat, a distraction from their goals. They want to control every aspect of it, allowing it only for procreation within marriage, and even then it's all about producing more party members.
So twisted. And even though they turn a blind eye to prostitution among the proles, it's just another way to control people, to keep them distracted and pacified. But Julie is different. She rebels against this, seeking pleasure for herself, and she hates the party for taking that away.
Her rebellion is more about personal freedom than political change. She wants to enjoy life, despite the restrictions, and she doesn't believe in organized resistance. She's practical, cynical even, but in a way, that's her strength.
So she and Winston, they find this room above Mr. Charrington's shop. It's a brief escape, a place where they can be themselves, away from the telescreens and the constant fear.
But it's a fragile sanctuary. The party's reach is long and betrayal lurks everywhere, which of course is exactly what happens.
Yeah, and then there's O'Brien. Winston has this weird, almost obsessive fascination with him, this belief that he's secretly against the party too.
It's a dangerous hope, but Winston clings to it. And when they finally meet in O'Brien's luxurious apartment, everything seems to confirm his suspicions.
O'Brien even turns off the telescreen. They drink wine, toast to Goldstein, talk about the Brotherhood. Winston's convinced he's found a way to fight back, to join a real resistance movement.
But it's a trap, of course. O'Brien reveals the truth about the Brotherhood. It's a tool used by the party to identify and eliminate potential rebels. And his chilling statement that the party seeks power for power's sake, that they control reality itself, shatters any hope Winston had.
It's a gut punch. It's like realizing that the enemy is not just powerful, but also completely amoral, driven by pure, unadulterated desire for control. And that's when the hammer falls. The thought police raid Mr. Charrington's shop, and it turns out he's been an agent all along.
Another betrayal, another layer of the party's deception. They take Winston to the Ministry of Love, this terrifying place with no windows, constant light designed to break you down.
And it's full of people like Ampleforth, imprisoned for leaving the word God in a poem, and even Parsons, arrested for sleep-talking against Big Brother. It shows how arbitrary and all-encompassing the party's control is.
It's a system of terror designed to eliminate any form of dissent, no matter how small or unintentional. And within this system, O'Brien takes on the role of Winston's torturer and re-educator.
It's disturbing how personal it gets. O'Brien uses physical torture, yes, but also psychological manipulation, attacking Winston's memories, forcing him to accept the party's version of reality. He introduces these concepts, Crime Stop and Black-White, as tools for thought control.
Crime Stop is the ability to instantly stop any thought that might be dangerous to the party. Black-White is the ability to believe that black is white, and to forget that you ever believed otherwise.
It's mind-blowing the level of control they're aiming for. They don't just want obedience, they want complete and total belief in their lies. And as Winston heals physically, he's simultaneously being broken mentally and emotionally.
The party wants him to love Big Brother, to genuinely embrace their twisted reality, and they almost succeed. Then comes Room 101, the ultimate horror.
This is where they confront you with your deepest fear. For Winston, it's rats. And in that moment, faced with this unbearable terror, he betrays Julia, begging them to torture her instead of him.
It's a devastating act of self-preservation, a complete surrender to the party's will, and it breaks him. When he's released, he's a shell of his former self. He goes back to the Chestnut Tree Cafe where other broken party members gather, and he encounters Julia.
But there's no recognition, no love, only emptiness. They've both betrayed each other, and they both know it. The party has won. They've broken their spirits, destroyed their love, their hope.
And the final image, Winston sitting alone, weeping tears of love for Big Brother as the telescreen announces another party victory, is utterly chilling. It shows the complete triumph of the party's ideology, the absolute crushing of individual thought and feeling.
So there you have it, our deep dive into 1984. It's a terrifying vision of totalitarian control, a world where surveillance is everywhere, history is rewritten, and the individual is powerless against the state.
And it raises some important questions for us today. In our world of information overload, how can we be sure we're not being manipulated? How can we protect our minds, our thoughts, our freedom?
Something to think about for sure. Orwell's 1984 is a warning, a reminder to be vigilant, to question everything, to never stop fighting for truth and freedom. And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. In a world where information is power, who controls the narrative? And how can we, as individuals, make sure we're not just passively consuming, but actively engaging and critically evaluating the information that shapes our understanding of the world?
Think about it and stay vigilant.
Until next time, keep diving deep.